Yeah, making a video. Yay. Yeah. I'm really pissed off, actually. So since this is the video after the one about Fred's thing. Anyway, I saw that. I went to that charity site for that Ariel thing, the kid that died of cancer. And it was just hideous. It's just fucking disgusting. I don't even understand how it's a charity. Pirro lost his daughter. He didn't do all this crap. They certainly didn't expect any whatever. Pay for the funeral and shit. But whatever. It's just the hideousness of it. Just made me sick to my stomach. Just makes me sick. Just makes me. They were all happy that she lasted another 6 months. She lasted another 6 months paralyzed. How awful does it have to get? How insidious are you people? You just torture your fucking kids. Okay. Oh yeah, well it's got cancer, so it's got to fight the cancer forever. Futilely and insanely and preposterously. Whatever. You just make me sick. Goddamn human race makes me goddamn sick. You make me sick. You're disgusting. Anyway. So, speaking of disgusting, Quinta guy. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play this video. It's number 10. I have only watched 1 or 2, 3, 4, every other one or so, and I watched some of it, and I just say, what an asshole.
Antinatalism and Antinatalism like to poke fun at their opponents.
Oh yeah, it's so much goddamn fun. Your hypocrisy is what's disgusting. You can't sit there and argue the argument. You're arguing a false argument. You keep talking about wanting to die and all this other crap that isn't the subject. The subject is imposing life. The subject is procreation. Why don't you talk about procreationism? Procreationism.
At their, what they sometimes refer to as the enemy.
The evil, disgusting monstrosities that are going to oblige somebody to call them papa. Poop.
They like to project.
Oh, by the way, I did update this thing here. His comments didn't show up over here because he doesn't have any yet. But if you have Grease Monkey, yes, it does the centering thing. So if I'll post the link. So down below is the link, to the thing, and so you can use the thing as just a bookmark up here, or and then just hit it when you want it, or you can use Grease Monkey if you know what Grease Monkey is, and then it'll load on every page you load, so you don't have to ever load it. It just automatically do it. So it'll automatically center the YouTube page, and then it will put the comments over here if you had some comments. I might as well do it real quick. Rip an apple in half. This idiotic video. This shouldn't take long. See, there's comments over there. See that? Just put them there automatically, and it does this, and I didn't have to do nothing, and so, yeah.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
Fuck that. Anyway, on with this stupid show.
Their own unrealistic beliefs, their own delusions onto their enemy or their opponent.
Yeah, whatever. Like I said, you're the one not quoting us. You're the one not playing our videos. You're the one not responding to anything coherently. You're the one with all the gimmicks and the bullshit. So fuck you in this argument.
Now, it's something that should be noted that while
you talk so goddamn slow. That's why I took the 10 parts to say nothing. It's because you talk way too goddamn slow.
The opponents of antinatalism and the opponents of ethalism, while they are
52 seconds into this video, you haven't said a goddamn thing yet. All you've done is ad hominem, the opponents of that, blah, 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 blah. You haven't said anything.
Often cited as wanting cotton candy and thinking the world is all pink blue.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody who argues positions usually argues them played out. Here's the most obvious way to cartoon it, okay? And so the argument's made, okay? But that's a metaphor for all of the things humans do, and we do see what humans do, okay? So saying cotton candy isn't any worse than saying Super Bowl or American Idol or presidential elections. or any of the other cartoon behavior that the average human participates in, soccer mommery. I mean, you could find it all over the place, and it's got the metaphor fits. So, what's the difference? The reality is just as stupid as the caricature.
And fairy tales and unicorn rides and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, isn't that what you're doing? Look, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Let's talk about that, right? What does it do? It does some cartoony, silly thing like, here, you have cancer. Well, we're going to make up for it because we're going to Disneyland. And everything will be okay. That's the big thrill, the big fun. Yo, I rode on a roller coaster and Mickey Mouse licked my... Oh, no, he didn't do
that. Those topics are never mentioned. Never brought up by the opponents of antinatalism.
Yeah, you try to, people do bring up stuff like Professor Anton. You start listing all your golden moments, and they come down to little stupid sunsets, and my dog pissed in my lap, and well, see, I'm doing it again, but you know what I'm saying. It's all this trivial little winky-dinky, punky-punky, inky-inky, baby, mushy, silly crap that you call a life, that you jackasses live for. None of you people have gold medals. None of you have Nobel Prizes. You're all just a bunch of loafy, doofy, losery pieces of shit, and you're all saying, well, I'm having a great time. Yeah, let's look at the statistics for what the average human makes a great time out of. Oh yeah, booze and drugs and bullshit. Booze and drugs and bullshit.
Those metaphors, one could abstract from that they're meant to be metaphors.
Who cares? Who cares? Look, again, make your list. Make your list of all the spectacular fucking things the average fucking human being is doing. Oh, yes, well, he's going to 8 hours of work a day. That's really fun. And, he's getting anal warts or whatever. Some kind of wart somewhere.
And literally, when antinatalists and epilists say this, when they speak of...
we're not living there, We're not doing the blue lagoony thing. We're not in some little paradise, right? And even in this paradise, right?
Is misplaced because this
no
is never
sharks, no thing to come along and eat you alive.
So it's brought up by the antinatalists, by the epilists, to discredit their opponents, to characterize them.
You're not making any argument here whatsoever. Nothing. You're not saying anything. Well, the antinatalists seem to think there's something wrong with this perfectly wonderful world that we all are loafing in. Yeah, right.
As being Pollyannish in their belief system.
Well, isn't it Pollyannish that you raise kids on not just a little bit of it, a big giant ton of fantasy and bullshit. The little kid's name that died of cancer, all right, paralyzed for the last 6 months. Ariel, her name was. She was named after a cartoon mermaid that grew legs and married Prince Figglefaggle. This is the crap people live on, craphead. Your whole civilization is a lie. Grow up. Smell the fucking fat, stinky turd.
Now, the opponents of antinatalism, the anti-antinatalists,
the pro-creationists, let's call you what you are, pro-creationists,
and the pro-natalist, and the people who are just claim not to be antinatalist or epilist. They seem to be more well-adjusted.
Oh, again, so this is a personal subject again. Again, this is all personal. So Einstein wasn't exactly Mr. Well-Adjusted, from what I understand. So therefore, we can just discount everything he ever said because, well, he once in a while wet his pants and farted. I mean, this is just such a crock of shit. As a video, as a response, as anything. I'm just going to go back to you look like a pedophile and you have a big fucking nose. There, I win. You're pwned.
To their environment. And they seem to be more in touch with reality.
Yeah, what reality is that? Your reality, right? They're more in touch with my understanding of what it is to be a human, which is I hide behind glasses and I don't really be real in any sense of the word real.
With the workings of reality in a physical environment, you'll notice that...
Now you'll notice that your voice has been modified and that you can't even do that straight up.
that many of the antinatalists have a hard time discussing any topic at all with each other without having an argument.
Oh, what is this? What is this from? What do you mean? Examples, please, of the common topicking that goes on. Why would people have conversations about other things, and where exactly is the huge dissent? I don't get a lot of dissent on my videos on instant runoff voting or all this other stuff from antinatalists. I get it from the same assholes, you petty assholes, because you petty assholes are so obsessed with the personality. It doesn't matter what I say. I could say daffodils are the fucking coolest little pansy fairy little faggoty flowers on earth, and you jackasses would say, oh no, that's not true.
There's very few points of agreement other than their...
Yeah, just say shit. Just say absolute shit that you're not going to prove or demonstrate with any goddamn evidence at all about how antinatalists are in more disagreement than any other group of people on planet Earth. I mean, this is just a preposterous lie. It's just a made-up piece of shit. I mean, what the fuck? Okay, well, you can obviously see that most natalists, most pro-natalists are ugly and smelly. It seems quite obvious. Most of them are ugly and smelly, and so they're trying to get past their own ugliness and smelliness and their own self-hatred by imposing life on some new thing with the hope that it'll be so genetically perverted as they are that it'll be even worse shape, and then they'll feel better about how bad they are. Maybe that's the game.
Referring to suffering, the world being shit and life being suffering.
Yeah, well, whatever. Life being suffering. Again, this is your imposition of a motto. Okay, that's not the motto. The motto is consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, addiction. The motto is unintelligent design. The motto is replication for the sake of replication. Deal with that terminology. But no, that would be doing it right. That would be fairly arguing. And you're not capable of doing anything fair because you're a typical lying piece of scum human. You're a manipulative, little wheeling, dealing, little crooked-brained, little petty piece of fucking goddamn shit that is identified as the human fucking race. You're a perfect example of the average shit-for-brain, jackass, motherfucking piece of crap human.
And the common thread seems to be that they all believe themselves to be victims. Now, if you were to tell an antinatalist that they worship victimocracy,
oh, whatever. So yeah, make up another piece of terminology. So yeah, so you are in effect, just factually, okay? It's just a fact of the circumstance. You're not given, you don't get to give your consent. You're put into a world where you might end up smarter than your parents and the people who put you there, and you might find their decision to be less than intelligent, and therefore somehow you have now created a religion. I mean, you're not allowed to critique, you're not allowed to complain, you're not allowed to find fault because it's the sacred goddamn ovum. I mean, you're the one with the fucking religion, you loony fucking tune.
That they wish to be victims, that they characterize themselves as victims, that they want to be victims.
Oh, what? Again, this is, a big pile of shit. I've pointed out many times how I've been incredibly goddamn lucky. Is that what a victim says? I've been incredibly goddamn lucky? No, what I don't want to be is unlucky. I don't want to be sitting in that bag of shit, okay, talking shit. That's what I don't want to be. I don't want to be one of you turds. And that's the way this thing works. You just arrive here, and you don't get to pick where you arrive. You don't get to say, well, what bag of skin am I going to fall into this time? All right, consciousness just arises in people, and I don't want to be humiliated by being another one of you fucking turds.
They would quickly shoot you down and tell you that no, they do not believe they are victims. And some of them have went so far as to say that they are happy with their lives.
Oh, so this is a contradiction. So one minute they're whining and complaining, the next minute they're saying they're happy with their lives, and it doesn't matter anyway, but you're just going to say they're lying, they're made full of shit, there's some other kind of bullshit. So again, you just want to argue personalities, you don't want to argue the subject. The subject is, what is life on Earth? Is it accomplishing enough? Is it sufficiently efficient to have earned propagation, to earn perpetuation? And the simple conclusion I've drawn is that no fucking way, not even fucking goddamn close. Alright, it's not even close to being up to the line, up to the snuff mark. Oh, fuck. And I've made arguments explaining why I believe that, and that's the extent of my argument, shit for brains. Fuck you, you suck.